by 10 votes. 10 votes in 1992. So here we are 29 years later. A visionary superintendent in the mold of Mary Tornstrom, our own Lane Larson, came to Brainerd. Her primary task, as envisioned by the school board, was to run a successful bond referendum, not only for this auditorium, but to upgrade our existing buildings, build new ones, and build this building. This task was monumental, and I won't even go into the details here. However, she had to convince an entire community that included Brainerd, Baxter, Nisswa, Garrison, and every point in between. And as you know, it's hard enough to get communities to agree with each other, but we had to get all of those people on the same page. A basic auditorium seating 800 people was incorporated into question 2. Question 3 was really an ask for our community. We had a vision of a much more beautiful performing arts center, and that was question 3. Now, it only passed by a couple hundred votes out of 10,000 cast. And I would thank everyone in the community for supporting this, but I want to give a special thanks to Scott Likens and the Lakes Area Music Festival. They really went to bat on this. Much of how question 3 passed and where we're sitting today was because of Scott Likens and LAMF. And I personally want to thank you for that. To me, this auditorium, besides being the Gichi Ziibi, should also be called the People's Auditorium. It's owned by the people. It should be used by all the people of this community. That's what it was built for. This 56-year vision of a beautiful performing arts center became a reality. I love this community with all my heart. Thank you to all the people who worked so hard to get this passed. That dream became a vision, but it took us 56 years, and we're here proudly recognizing that tonight. Thank you.
I concur with Chair Nystrom. Thank you to the Brainerd Public School community for providing this incredible state-of-the-art venue for our students and our regional communities. Your commitment reinforces the vital function that the arts play in our district's educational preparation. I was asked if I would briefly talk about the extensive process that was used to get to this grand opening and to make this a reality that is here today. I've struggled a little bit to find the exact way to talk about it, but as many of you know, there's a concept that I frequently talk about in my speeches. You've heard me say before, and I apologize if it sounds redundant, but I firmly believe that if anyone thinks that they can make any type of significant difference alone, it won't happen. You need the right team at the right time, working in partnership to accomplish greatness. Together, my friends, we have accomplished greatness. This was the key to Blueprint 181. It was the partnerships while we put our students first and pursued educational excellence for all learners. As you will hear from the speakers this evening, the Blueprint 181 required genuine collaboration and a whole lot of grit. Together, we planned and led well over 300 district and community-based meetings, all to be transparent with our community and to enhance the possibility of success of our 3-question voter-approved referendum, which we were so fortunate to be successful at on April 10th, 2018. Thank you to everyone for making that a reality. Tonight, I would like to recognize many of the people who made this happen, and I might ask for a few of the lights to go up just a little bit so that I can recognize everyone for making this a reality. I begin with the Board of Education. Will you please stand and be recognized? The present board is Bob Nystrom. Vice Chair, Ruth Nelson. Yes, you can clap. This is great. Our treasurer, Charles Blacklands. Jana Shogren, Thomas Hagelin, and Kevin Boyles. Also with us tonight, I am honored to have Reed Campbell and Susan Kern, who were on the Board of Education at that time. Please stand and be recognized right here in the front. And Chris Robinson. I also know that from a district leadership perspective, there were hundreds and hundreds of meetings right around this little tiny table that I have in my office. And there were 4 people that I spent about 8 hours a day putting together the right plan for the right time. And I would like the following people to please stand and be recognized: Corey Reynolds, Steve Lund, and Aaron Sinclair. Thank you. In addition, our task force, now we have many more people that are working with us, and I'd like to recognize, and please stand as well, Heidi Hahn, Marcy Lord, our business manager. Heidi Hahn is the assistant superintendent. Willie Severson, past assistant superintendent. Reed Teesey, building and grounds, and Earl Willett, the past building and grounds. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. We knew that we couldn't do this work alone, and we needed some people to help guide us. And I am so fortunate that we had an RFQ that was answered by representatives from ICS and Woodseth right here in Brainerd to help guide this process. Also, it really is important to me that we recognize all of our spouses, our families, and all of the people that represent our families who helped to support us during those many hours away and who helped pick things up at the home front to make sure that we could do the work that we needed to do. In addition to the district teams, we had our administrative team, our teachers, and our user groups. This couldn't have happened without the advocacy committee that Kim Illingson just so greatly led, and we'll talk about in just a little bit. Our Chamber of Commerce, our business partners throughout the Brainerd Lakes area, Central Lakes College, the Lakes Area Music Festival, the mayors and city council members from Brainerd, Baxter, and Nisswa, the many, many contractors that I see in our audience today who you built this beautiful facility, and our generous community. As you can tell, it was a community partnership focused on educating our children and believing in the arts and preserving that for our community. Please give yourselves a hand. This historic landmark is a result of that community partnership focused on high-quality education and the commitment to the arts. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for being here tonight. Welcome, and let this be the first of many really awesome opportunities that you have at the Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts. Thank you.
Thank our community for supporting a building project of this magnitude for our students. No matter the background of our Warrior students, they can come to Brainerd High School and have amazing opportunities thanks to this building project. Second, I'd like to recognize and thank the outstanding staff at Brainerd High School. If you've ever done a remodel project on your home while you're living in it, you can understand the challenges they have faced. With commitment to high quality teaching and learning for all students, our staff endured the school days that went on despite shaking walls from excavation, loud equipment, pounding, drilling, and all other distractions which come from a major construction project. Thank you, Brainerd High School staff. And finally, I want to thank our contract leaders who ensured that this project that we dedicate here tonight came in on time, on budget, and most importantly, with high quality. These people are not only highly skilled and talented in their trade and profession, they are exceptional leaders of their teams. So I won't ask them to stand because they'll be angry, but I'm just going to note them. Thank you, and here's the list. Joe, Eric, Keith, Tim, Micah, Mitch, Andy, Steve, Rick, Mike, Lindsay, Chris, Andrew, Zach, Mike, Nate, and I am sure that I missed someone from our weekly construction meetings that have gone on the past 2 years. This great work together would not happen if not for our project leader, Scott Whittemore. He was the glue that held this tremendous project together and continues to do that. Not an easy feat, but most days he made it seem manageable and, from looking around, historically amazing. Thank you, Scott. Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you all for being here tonight to share in this very, very special occasion. And I hope that you enjoy the wonderful talents of our Brainerd High School Warriors. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Chris Fogderud, and I'm a band director here at Brainerd High School. And I am so honored to speak with you tonight. It's moments like these that we feel the weight of history upon us. I think of the thousands of students who have had their lives enriched through the study of music at both Washington High School and Brainerd High School. I think of the long line of inspiring music educators who have given of their professional lives to making each student's musical experience the best that it could be. I'm in my 13th year of teaching at BHS, and I feel I have not yet put in my dues to be worthy of the magnificent investment from our community that is this Arts Center. I feel that way because it's true. However, this community has put in its dues. This community has a long history of tremendous support for music education and the students of ISD 181 that spans over a century. Therefore, upon the passing of question 3 of the referendum, it was with this sense of gratitude that the music staff at Brainerd High School began discussing a way to commemorate this historic event. It was decided that we should celebrate this piece the only way we knew how, with music. You are about to hear music that was written especially for this moment, this place, these students, and even you. Brian Balmages, an exceptionally accomplished, nationally renowned composer, has written a celebratory fanfare in honor of this very space. The music you are about to hear is exciting, grand, and at times even euphoric. All of the feelings that I have when I am in this amazing space. The name is inspired by the feeling of community that has developed through our music programs in ISD 181. Please enjoy Warriors in Unison.
Good evening. Pretty tough act to follow. My name is Dave Bergeron. I'm the managing principal for ICS. We've had the distinct privilege of working in partnership with the Brainerd School District since 2017 to help visualize and construct the historic Blueprint 181 District and Community Facilities Improvement Projects, or plan, which this fantastic facility is a part of. On this facility, we've worked in partnership with several outstanding design partners, led by Whitsett Smith and Knowlting. And my counterpart, Kevin Dene with WSN, will talk about the design aspects of the building. I want to focus on recognizing our outstanding group of contractors who work tirelessly to construct this fantastic facility. I want to start with our what's called our prime contractors, and I know many are in the audience tonight, and I'm just going to recognize those. From a general construction perspective, high-tech construction, not only on this building, but have been part of many of the projects involved with Blueprint 181. From a mechanical perspective, RJ Mechanical. From an electrical perspective, Holden Electrical. From a roofing perspective, Thielen Heating and Roofing. And from an excavating perspective, Anderson Brothers. We've been very proud throughout this whole process. One of the keys was to engage as many local contractors as possible. And you probably recognize many of these names because they really reside right here in your community. So congratulations to all of those contractors. I was given a little over 2 minutes to recognize, and if I were to go through all of the contractors and the suppliers that were involved in this building, I'd be well over that. Needless to say, there are numerous other contractors that have been involved in this that have made it a successful project. Lastly, I'd like to recognize our own ICS team of professional folks. Our responsibility in this is really to oversee the project, to coordinate many of the contractors, and to be, as Principal Russ said, on time and on budget. So I do want to recognize first off, our program manager who oversees all of the Blueprint 181 projects is Damian Williams. You heard talk of Scott Whitmore. Scott's been here from day one of the project. He's our project manager for this project, for the high school project, and for now the South Campus project. We've also had several site superintendents, and I know a couple are in the audience tonight. Joe Vry, who's been our kind of lead site superintendent, Eric Baker, and also Robert Etter. These folks are here every day, and they are working with the contractors to help ensure the project goes as planned. So in closing, I want a special thank you to the Brainerd School District, to the school board for both present and past board members, to the district personnel, particularly the vision and charisma of Superintendent Larson, Principal Rusk, and her leadership. And also I want to recognize Reed Teesey, our Buildings and Grounds Director. All have been very instrumental in working with us through this process, as well as countless district personnel and community folks who have given valuable input into what this project really is today. And I want to thank you also to the Brainerd, the Baxter, Nisswa, and Merrifield communities for your vision and your commitment to not only help construct this through your generosity that will impact students and help them achieve their goals in the arts, but what will, I believe, become a cornerstone of cultural arts in the region for decades to come. And a special thank you for letting us and all of the contractors be part of it. So thank you.
Warriors in unison. Don't you just love that? That's who we are. That's how we get things done in this community. That was just fabulous. My name is Kevin Dene, architect and president at Widseth. For 30 years, I've had the pleasure to work on amazing community projects, several cherished buildings in the area, and entrusted with the community resources that it takes to make it happen. This undoubtedly is the crown jewel of all of them. Architecture, as practiced by most architects and designers, is the perfect blend of art and science. We think of it as sculpture that we can live, work, learn, and in this case, entertain in. In this case, when we have a Center for the Arts, it's the perfect canvas or lump of clay to create this sculpture that we get to work from. From the metaphor of a river running on the flooring of the lobby to the stone walls that suggest a river canyon in this grand space, we hope to embody the resources of this amazing area that we live in. My role at Widseth has changed over the years. I cannot take any credit for the work done to create this iconic space. My only role was to assemble the incredible team, help to assemble the incredible team that did the actual work in the designing of this facility. Where necessary, most of our team is local too, by the way. Where we needed outside resources, we brought them in to help make sure that this was the very best space and met the specific needs of the user groups that we met with countless times. So right now I'd like to acknowledge the rock stars of our team that made this happen. Leading the architecture team was Mike Englund, and he was supported by Doug Archer, Ashley Martell, Chris Satterland. Chris Satterland, by the way, has been out here every day, and many days multiple times, to watch over the construction and make sure things are going smoothly. Pre-referendum wise, it took a great vision to get this all put together. Erica Markuson led that effort to create that vision. Interior design was led by Lindsay Krenz, supported by Jenna Soberg. Our civil engineer landscape design was led by Tim Rammerth, and his team included Alex Bitter and Ryan Hermes. And Chad Connor did our land surveying. Mechanical engineering was done by MBJ, led by structural engineer Paul Johnson. I can guarantee you that that lobby, or that balcony is going to stand there for a long, long time. Obernell did the mechanical and electrical engineering, led by engineers Joel Peck and Ken McCleary. Our theater consultant, outside resource that we brought in that really brought this all together and taught us all what we didn't know yet, was Schuler and Shook, and acoustics were done by KRA. And I can't forget, I can't miss our incredible video production team, Brady Busler and Kylie Connor. Just think back, most of you saw that video 2 Christmases ago, outstanding. And then to really make it happen, we have to get this thing built. And to echo what Dave said, we had an incredible construction management team from ICS, Scott Whittemore and Joe Vry. They're probably going to get mentioned several times here tonight. So through the course of this design work, we had nearly 100 designers and detailers working on the project. Talk about warriors in unison. We never get tired of these kinds of events. It's our chance as designers to say thank you to the Board of Education, the community, and to offer us this canvas for which we can do our work. We hope that it will serve as a beacon and a statement of the diverse meaning of community for the next century in this community. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erin Host, and I am a part of the 2021 graduating class here at Brainerd High School. This event tonight was my final performance as a flutist in the Brainerd Wind Symphony, concluding 3 years of participating in this ensemble. Although I am a bit disappointed that this will be my only performance in this beautiful new performing arts center, I am so excited for the future students that can have their band concerts, choir, orchestra events, and musicals and other art shows here. For most of my high school band career, our concerts were held in Tornstrom Auditorium just down the street. That historic building has quite a bit of charm and many wonderful band memories. However, it is a really far walk from the high school, which always limited our rehearsal time. And one time, as I was speed walking back from rehearsal at Tornstrom to try and get to my class on time at the high school, I accidentally dropped my flute and I broke it 2 days before a concert. So if nothing else, this new Center for the Arts might help prevent another young musician from breaking their instrument just before a concert. Then, this school year, both of our concerts for Wind Symphony had to be held in the BHS gym. Let me tell you, although Mr. Fogdrud, our band director, has told us that the space you play in is not as important as the sounds your instruments create, from a student's perspective, it makes a world of difference. Besides the obvious improvement in acoustics, the larger stage, the bigger audience we can have here, the space you play in helps set the tone for a performance. Similar to wearing concert black, performing in a space like this helps students get into the performing mindset and really focus on creating a beautiful sound that matches the elegance of this space. So, thank you to all the community members, construction workers, staff, and students for your patience and support in developing the new Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts. I know this space will be much appreciated by Brainerd High School students and the community for many years to come. And now, please enjoy the Brainerd Chamber Orchestra performing Of Glorious Plumage.
hear? Is that better? Good evening. My name is Kim Ellingson, and my day job is at Bremer Bank. Many of you probably don't know that this endeavor started well before the entire referendum, and it was in the Long Range Planning Committee that I was on for a number of years. And it was when we got this new superintendent that came to town. And I tell you, I think everybody knows it's really hard to say no to Lane. And so that is how I got to be on the head of the Advocacy Committee. And I had the privilege to work alongside a great group of people, because that's what the Advocacy Committee does. It brings along the community and all of the team members involved to make it happen. And although there are hundreds of people that were involved in this, I did have some team members who were instrumental in the process, and I would actually like to acknowledge them as well. Jana Sjogren, Christy Ramler, Sarah Spears, Jessica Gangle, Kate Keepers, Corey Reynolds, Warren Larson, Brad Moss was there, Mike Dillon, and I know there are countless other people that are too many to mention. There were educators, community and business leaders, local trade unions, parents from a district, and alumni. The list goes on. And as we look around this fabulous place, we're reminded of that effort that it took for this diverse group of individuals that came together to make it happen. Whether you led a meeting, you made a phone call, knocked on doors, created a flyer, or helped in several other ways, you supported the effort in a true collaborative spirit. And I know that I speak for the entire group to say that we are so proud to have been involved in the project and can't wait to see the impact of this effort on our students. And as the space is now handed over to the artists and the performers, we look forward to witnessing the benefits the future events will bring to the community and the economy. Thank you.
Well, hello everyone. Matt Killian, I'm the president of the Brainerd Lakes Chamber of Commerce. When they introduced the Brainerd Chamber Orchestra, I was wondering, where did we get an orchestra at the chamber? But you guys did a great job. You know, there's a couple things on my mind tonight. Number one is this facility, to me, is what happens when a community believes in itself. When we believe in our kids, when we believe in our teachers, and when we believe in our local businesses. This is what's possible when we look in the mirror and say, you know what? We're worth it. And we never give up on our dreams. So to me, the Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts is the pinnacle of what it means to be Lakes proud. We said, let's be proud of our community. Let's dream it. Let's build it. Let's do it. Always support our local schools, businesses, and nonprofits. Why? Because they're worth it, and we're worth it. So at the Chamber, we're also proud to be the first business association that stepped forward to support the school referendum in 2018. And Lane, it took a few meetings to get there, but our board unanimously supported it because they believed these buildings would have an impact beyond our schools. Yeah. And like Kim Ellingson said, lightning not only struck once, but it struck 3 times. Voters supported all 3 referendum questions, and as far as I understand, it's the largest school referendum ever passed in Greater Minnesota, right here in Brainerd, Minnesota. The largest school referendum ever passed. So I talked about lightning. I'm going to tell a joke that my wife said, don't tell that joke. But it's here on the paper, I have to tell the joke. And so if lightning strikes an orchestra, do you know who's most likely to get hit first? Anybody? The conductor, that's correct. So my wife is right, don't tell the joke. So let's move on from lightning to halos. Dave Bergeron from ICS, who I've gotten to know quite a bit here in the last year or so, he always talks about the tremendous economic impact this facility will have on our businesses. But let's move beyond the economic effect, and let's talk about the halo effect. So I think that it's going to have a halo effect on our community, and the halo effect will be on our kids, our teachers, and it's going to help inspire them, right? It's going to be a halo effect on our downtown. It's going to help revitalize it. The halo effect will be on the people who will be attracted to live here in the future. And they're going to support our communities, and they're going to support our businesses. And yeah, they're coming here. They just don't know it yet. When they see this place, they'll know. And all of this happened because we believed in our dreams. And we invested in ourselves because we're worth it. So congratulations to everyone who made this happen, and don't forget to be Lakes proud. Be proud of what we've achieved and what we can achieve in the future by working together. So thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Jenna, and I am a member of the Brainerd High School Chamber Orchestra and a cappella choir. For me, the new Center of the Arts means convenience. Rather than the 3-block walk through various weather conditions to get to the Washington building, we now have a simple stroll down the hallway with indoor heating. Rather than facing the fear of witnessing a string snap, we can enjoy the comfort of regulated indoor humidity control. Long gone are the days of people joking about getting bus licenses to ferry everyone around. While Tornstrom provided all of us with an opportunity to express ourselves with music, the Gichi Ziibi Center of the Arts takes this experience and enhances it with more space, more convenient travel, and greater opportunities for future students. The next performance is by the a cappella choir. 2 years ago, the choir commissioned a new piece for tonight's grand opening. This new piece, entitled Music I Heard by Eric Barnum, is a bookend to the band's fanfare for the opening of the Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts. The text looks towards our past, to the many people who have been a part of our music programs, as the choir begins to celebrate their 100th year anniversary in the Brainerd Schools next fall. This music celebrates all who have built an incredible legacy of the great music in our community. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brian Stubbs, and I'm the choir director for grades 10-12 here at Brainerd High School. I'm going to forego my personal thoughts about the Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts because I would like to use my 2 minutes to thank Dutch and Irma Cragen. Dutch and Irma have made a significant, yes, thank you. Dutch and Irma have made a significant and unique impact on our arts in the Brainerd Lakes area and for a long time now. Back when the choir and band were the only 2 organizations at Brainerd High School, Dutch saw a need for a string program. He and Irma pulled together people willing to contribute money to bring a teacher to our community and to teach strings and organize a community orchestra. Fast forward, and today we have the Heartland Symphony, and ISD 181 has a string program added to our music curriculum. Dutch and Irma donated the needed large instruments like basses and cellos as well, so kids would be able to play instruments they could otherwise not afford to purchase individually. I am pleased to share with you that Dutch and Irma recently made an extremely generous donation to purchase a concert piano for the Gichi Ziibi Center. This instrument will literally be the heart of this space, being the instrument that orchestras build around and supporting many concerts in the future. We have used the money to purchase a Steinway Model D concert piano. This piano is 9 feet long and will be housed in a room off stage specifically designed for it. It arrives next fall, probably in November. It is currently in Maryland, getting a 6-month-long overhaul to bring it to the highest possible level of adjustment and to warrant concert pianists from around the world to take note. Dutch and Irma, your contributions have been lasting. Literally thousands of community members have had a great live music in their lives because of your donations. Thousands will be impacted with this piano, which with good care can last decades. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in thanking the Cragens. Where are you, by the way? Dutch and Irma. Can we get the house lights up a little? Dutch and Irma, where are they hiding? There they are.
Good evening, I'm Scott Likens, Artistic and Executive Director of the Lakes Area Music Festival. It's a pleasure to stand on stage here at the Gichi Ziibi Center for the very first time, and I want to start by acknowledging that we gather on the traditional land of the Ojibwe peoples, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land and the people who have stewarded it for throughout the generations. 17 years ago, I was a student here at BHS and was a member of the band and orchestra. Now, for more than a decade, I've enjoyed returning to my hometown, to this community, to lead the Lakes Area Music Festival, bringing the nation's best classical artists to Brainerd for free, accessible, world-class performances. When the referendum passed, making this venue possible, we celebrated alongside the students, faculties, administration, and community. That excitement has continued as we have been included in planning along the way, ensuring that this venue serves our organization and this whole community that made it possible. Looking ahead, we view the voters' approval of this facility as an indication of desire for more performing arts experiences to be available in central Minnesota. Our organization looks forward to expanding the scope and diversity of our programming and to the continued cultivation of our education partnerships here in the Brainerd Public Schools. This August, we will present our 13th annual season featuring chamber music, orchestra, and opera here in this brand new facility. We hope you'll reserve your tickets and join us as we celebrate this new space and our new festival home. Congratulations to everyone who's been involved with this project, and thanks to all of you for your support of it.
Thank you, Scott. All right, so my name is Leah Anderson, and I've been a teacher at Brainerd High School for 25 years. And I'm here to represent the Visual Arts Department and, of course, all of our students. We are very excited to have such an amazing space to showcase our student artwork at the Gichi Ziibi. I'd like to share a poem that I came across by John Updike titled, "What is Art?" What is art? Is it visual? Is it emotional? Is it heard? Is it felt? Can it be comprehended? Art is self-expression, unleashed in a unique form that is represented by the human spirit. It can be lovely. It can be soothing. It can be frightening. It can invoke fear. It can be sad. It can bring on tears. It can be disturbing. It can challenge our beliefs. It can be fun. It can make us laugh. It can make us happy. And it can bring joy. It can be misunderstood. It can bring questions. Art can't be boxed. It cannot be contained or censored to hide the uniqueness it brings to the human experience. What art offers is space, a certain breathing room for the spirit. And what an amazing space we have. So thank you for having me here tonight. I appreciate it. And now, please enjoy the Brainerd High School Jazz Ensemble 1 performing Sandu.
That was so awesome. I'm here tonight just to speak on behalf of Senator Carrie Rood. She called this afternoon and has been called to the Capitol for an emergency meeting. She has asked that I send the best wishes to everyone and the celebration of this beautiful facility. And I also just, having dealt with Senator Rood many, many times, she is a huge proponent and supporter of public education, and in particular, Brainerd Public Education. And so she is very sad that she couldn't be with us tonight, but please know that she is with us in thought and in spirit. So please give Senator Carrie Rood a round of applause.
Good evening. My name is Mayor Bedeau of the City of Brainerd. If we could please bring the house lights up, that would be fantastic. I want to see all of your smiling faces. There we go. Something about a spotlight that I do not like. I want to say super fast before I get started that as much as I love the name Gichi Ziibi, and I love the name Gichi Ziibi, I was a little disappointed when I heard that we were not going to be naming this building after an individual, because I think we can all agree that the Mayor Bedeau Center for Excellence has such a nice ring to it. So, Lane, you can put that in your back pocket for next time. If I could please, real fast, I'm here to be the representative for the City of Brainerd. So anybody from the City of Brainerd that is with us, our Councilman Kelly Bevins, City Administrator Jennifer Bergman, and Councilman Mike O'Day, if you could please stand super fast. Thank you. Tiffany, I did not see you. I apologize. Tiffany Sangling as well. As a city, our involvement in this process is something interesting in that we are there to help facilitate, but at the same time, we kind of want to get out of the way. We have structures in place that require systems and whatnot. And one of the things that I will admit, and I think some of our other councilmen will admit as well, is that when we heard about the referendum, we became a little nervous. And the reason we became nervous is because the city of Brainerd loves its neighborhood schools. And what we heard from our constituents is that we wanted to keep those neighborhood schools. And my initial response was that I was nervous that we were going to lose them somewhere along in this process. And we kept hearing from the school district that this was a process that we were going to work through, that we were going to listen, we were going to talk with people. And whenever you hear that, your first response is typically to roll your eyes and believe that it's not going to happen. And I want to say that from the city of Brainerd and from its city council and myself, the mayor, I want to thank the school board as well as all the members involved in this for actually listening to what the citizens of our community wanted. Now, enough about city government, because as our YouTube channel will show you, nobody is interested in listening to people talk about city government. What I want to say really fast is that I want to talk about community. And something that you may know about me, you may not know about me, is I used to do stand-up comedy. And I say I used to do stand-up comedy because when you become the mayor, you are no longer allowed to say fun things. So I no longer do stand-up comedy. However, the thing that I really appreciate about being on stage and performing is exactly this. It's the ability to look at your audience, it's the ability to interact with your audience. And of all the buildings that we've created in this entire referendum, of all the structures that we've built, this one is something that is just a little bit to the left. There are buildings that we have that are for education. There are structures that we have that are specifically built for our sports or athletics. But the unique thing about the human race, and I think this is something that we'll learn over time, is there's some kind of ability for us to share energy or emotions. And when you get together in a room full of people like this, that energy is transferred and builds. You hear a lot of the time when people go to concerts or when they go to athletic stadiums, you'll hear the phrase that it was electric, or you could feel the energy. And that's something that is actually very, very true and is very unique to us as individuals and to us as a species. The fun thing about that, and the reason why I want to speak about this, is that for us as a city, we've created a structure. For us as a city, we've created a place for people to perform, for young individuals to dance or to play music or to simply just get up and speak. But what we've really created is a space for people from within the community, from families, for members that may have traveled a long way to come and collectively build that energy. And that energy is something that is transferable and something that is most certainly spread as you move throughout the community. So what I want to thank you for, and what I want to thank the school board for, all the individuals that have been involved with building this, and for all of our kids that will be on this stage, I want to thank you for building that energy and for sharing that with my community. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Carla Johnson, and I'm the theater director and English teacher at Brainerd High School. I want to take you back to a late April night in 2018. It was 12:15 in the morning. I was in my apartment, and I remember sitting in my bed with my laptop open, watching the vote count come in for the referendum. I remember being a little worried and anxious. I was hopeful that number 3 would pass, but I was not sure if it would. When the numbers kept increasing and it looked like all 3 would pass by the Brainerd community, tears of joy streamed down my face. The next morning, I was on cloud 9, like a child in a candy store. When I texted all of the actors and tech crew members in the theater program that the Performing Arts Center referendum passed, the students' responses were breathtaking. They were elated. It meant the world to them that the Brainerd community voted for this gorgeous space for them to use. I want to express my deepest gratitude to you. Thank you all for voting. Thank you for appreciating the arts. Thank you for reiterating that the arts matter. Thank you for seeing that the arts is sometimes what keeps some students in high school. Thank you for supporting music, dance, and theater. Thank you for creating this magnificent space for students and community members to use. I would now like to introduce the beautiful Sounds of Windfall, directed by the extremely talented Brian Stubbs. They will be performing God Only Knows, arranged by Tomas Bergquist.
Check.
Check. Check.
Check.
Check.
Check.
Check.
Check.
Check.
Check.
Credit.
I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. Dum 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 dum.
If you should ever leave me, my life would still go on. Believe me, could show nothing to me.
So what good would living do me? Only
God only knows what I'd be without you.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
I may not always love you,
But long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
God only knows what I'd be without.
God only knows what I'd be without.
God only knows what I'd be
God only knows. God only knows what I'd be without.
God only knows what I'd be
God only knows. God only knows what I'd be without.
God only knows what I'd be
God only knows. God only knows what I'd be without.
God only knows what I'd be without you. Without you.
Well, Bob Nystrom back here again. I'm here tonight to represent Mayor Daryl Wilson of Baxter. Daryl had a personal matter that came up today and couldn't be with us and felt really bad about that. But he did write a speech and he asked me to read it. Daryl and I are similar in age. We both were born and raised in Brainerd and moved to Baxter, and we both decided that we wanted to live here because we love its people, its values, and we're serving them now in elected office. And that's really quite an honor. So here's Daryl's speech. Good evening and thanks for the invitation to be here. I have looked forward to being a part of this evening, but unfortunately an unforeseeable situation is keeping me from being here. I was told I was to be the last speaker, so it's quite possible the room is empty by now. And I certainly would understand that, speaking on behalf of the Baxter voters who registered their support for the referendum, which of course included this building you're sitting in tonight. I say congratulations on a job well done. They felt strongly about the future of education for all students of District 181 and expressed their opinions at the poll in a strong way. I never cease to marvel and respect the vision and the decisions of this school board and past boards with their determination to press on. I've said this before, but when they purchased the Forest View property years ago, they weathered naysayers of the day saying too much land, too much money, too far away, etc., but they pressed forward undeterred, and look what we have today. My wife and I are part of 5 generations of Brainerd Warriors, and as we were sitting out at Forest View a few days ago, watching our grandsons, the 5th generation, competing at a track meet, I once again looked around the property to see almost every available area being used for one sport or another. With almost no parking spots left for family or friend, a nice problem to have. A testament, in my opinion, to prior vision that has since been proven correct, along with its connection to the Dean Mackey Forests, Southdale soccer fields, and its proximity to the Mississippi River Overlook Park. That property is strategically situated. The board's vision and drive in leading us, along with the help and guidance of Lane and the rest of the staff, brings us tonight for another great time of celebration for the present and the future of District 181. This is another visionary investment in our students and the community as a whole. This facility will be used in many ways that will further enhance the many offerings we enjoy now. So I say congratulations to all who had a part in bringing us to this point in our school district's history and legacy. Mayor Daryl Wilson.
Good evening. My name is Reed Teesey, and I'm the Director of Buildings and Grounds for Brainerd Public Schools. I want to take a second and reflect on where we're at as a district through all of our construction projects. It's amazing to think that Monday at our South Campus groundbreaking, I made the comment that we've kicked off project number 10 of 13, and we've approached almost $150 million worth of construction value added to our amazing school district. We're 3/4 of the way through our commitment to the community to make a significant improvement to our school facilities. Tonight's the first night that we get to celebrate one of these amazing spaces. One of the reasons I chose to apply for this job is really, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, once-in-a-career opportunity to work on a group of projects of this scope and of this magnitude. I was fortunate to be offered the position about 20 months ago, thanks Lane. And I took over the leadership for the Buildings and Grounds Department from Earl Wolliott. Earl's here with us tonight. Earl, thank you for everything that you've done. Earl put in 20 great years with our school district. How do you take the reins from someone who's been doing this for 20 years and not drop the ball? Well, the first few weeks and days of driving around with Earl were chaotic, to say the least. Months-long crash courses in all the decisions of the designs, all the planning that went into every project across the district over the past 2 years. The scope was daunting. How do you build a facility like this? How do you add it onto an old building, already tightly restricted by other access? Well, you do it by committing hundreds of hours of coordination meetings between design teams, construction trades, and the owners. You lean on those partners to help guide you through the way. We got a great team of people working on these projects across all the buildings, and I want to ensure that, and they've ensured that every site has been successful, but not without their challenges. So I'd like to take a moment to personally thank all of them for their tireless efforts on all these projects, especially here at BHS. To ICS, Dave Bergeron, Damian Williams, Scott Whittemore, Joe Vry, and all of the other project management team across all of our projects, thank you for your time and thank you for your patience as you've guided us through this process. Thank you for your project management and site supervision efforts leading the way for construction for such amazing facilities. To Obernell and Widseth and the specialty design consultants, thank you for all of your architectural, mechanical, electrical, civil, structural, and audiovisual design work. Your innovative ideas are innovating ideas to challenging situations and state-of-the-art technology systems that are installed here today will benefit the students, staff, and community of the Brainerd Lakes area for decades to come. To the local units of government, the cities of Brainerd and Baxter, for your cooperation throughout this process and working with us as as collaborative units of government to create these spaces within our community. To our contractors, Anderson Brothers, Anderson Ladd, Aqualogic, Cullinex, Dow Acoustics, Holden Electric, High Tech Construction, LVC, MCI, Murphy Window and Door, Rice Lake Construction, RJ Mechanical, Thielen Heating Roofing, Video Services Incorporated, Wells Concrete, and Wanger. Thank you for turning a design on paper into reality for the community, which a lot of you live and work in. Your commitment to creating these spaces while battling COVID and keeping schools operating is commendable, and we so very much appreciate all of your work. To our district buildings, or to our district administration and BHS staff, thank you for all that you've done and your cooperation, your meeting time, your patience, and understanding as we've designed and constructed these amazing facilities. Lastly, to the staff in the Buildings and Grounds Department, Jeff Flayton, I know you're here in the audience, and Denise Taugis, you're in the Buildings and Grounds Administration Office. Thank you for all you do to support, that you've done supporting me, become familiar with the past at ISD 181, and also keeping up with the present. You're invaluable to our operations, and you've helped us get here today. To our building engineers and custodians at BHS and across the district, thank you for your patience in working through the construction process. The time and effort to move out of spaces to accommodate construction, to support building staff, teachers, and students as their spaces are ever changing, it's not an easy task, and you should be all proud of the job you've done. Thank you all, and have a great evening.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elena Tanner.
And my name is Jada Klikatsky.
And on behalf of the theater department at Brainerd High School, we would like to welcome you to this beautiful facility. Many of you know that we just finished our performances of Oklahoma a few weeks ago, and it's been a wild ride, really.
Yeah, we weren't even sure that we would ever be able to be in this space. We were kind of disappointed that we had to do our shows at Tornstrom, but it was still a lovely experience, and working with everyone was so great. And having this space to look forward to was such an inspiration and such a great thing for all of us. It has been really, really crazy, but it has been so, so great working with everybody.
For those of you who didn't see Oklahoma or who haven't seen it before, the basic plot line of the show, it's a classic musical with cowboys and romance and lots of dancing and singing. I play the character of Lori Williams.
And I play Lori Williams during the Ballerina Dream sequence. And so the plot line, it pretty much focuses around a love triangle of Lori, Judd, and Curly. Curly is your quintessential good guy in this musical. Everybody's rooting for him. He's everybody's favorite. And Judd, he is the evil guy. Nobody likes him. Everyone is against him, except for Lori. Lori can't quite decide whether or not she wants to go with Curly or whether or not she wants to go with Judd as her love interest.
Yeah, so the biggest point of the show happens when the whole community comes together for the Box Social, which is an annual celebration that they hold, and Lori has to decide who she's going to focus on. And she's afraid of Judd, but she's also in love with Curly, so she decides to buy some smelling salts to help her make up her mind.
Yeah, so when she smells these smelling salts, she falls asleep, and that's the scene we are about to show you. She falls asleep and she has this dream. And during this dream, she is living out her ideal life with Curly. They're so happy, they are about to get married, when suddenly Judd comes in and kind of ruins things for them. And this is important because it really is like the theme of the musical. Like, it goes from her really being indecisive to being for sure that she wants to go with Curly, and that Judd is really, really evil.
So thank you again for coming out and supporting us. It's an honor to be able to share this with you, and we hope you enjoy.
Out of your dreams and into his arms you long to fly. You don't need his smelling salts to tell you why. Out of your dreams and into the hush of falling shadows, where the mist is low and stars are breaking through. Then out of your dreams you'll go into a dream come true. Make up your mind, Lori, Lori, dear. Make up your own story, Lori, dear. Oh, Pharaoh's daughter,
Wake up, Lori. It's time for the party.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. Oklahoma, where the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. Oklahoma, every night, my honey lavender. Every night we sit alone and talk and watch a hawk making lazy circles in the sky.
We know we belong to the land.
Yo ho, and the land we belong to is grand. Yippee-yi, 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 yippee-yi. And when we say, yow, hi-yi-bi-yo-yay, we're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma. Okay, Oklahoma, 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 Oklahoma. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. And when we say, yeah, hi-yi-bi-yo-yay, we're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma. O-K-L-A-H-O-M-A, Oklahoma. Yeah!
Anin, greetings. Nakana benesi koin indigenous cause, magazine and dodane, misquaga mewazaga iganing nandonjaba. I just used the traditional Ojibwe protocol to introduce myself. When we do this, we start by saying our Ojibwe name or spirit name, our clan, and where we are from. We share a name because it is our spiritual identity. It is our connection to those spirits and beings beyond this physical realm, including our ancestors. My English name is Susan Bolio, and I'm the chairperson of the local American Indian Parent Committee. I also serve on the Central Lakes College Humphrey Center Advisory Council, where we work in partnership with Central Lakes College to support equity and inclusion work across our education systems. Gichi Ziibi. Gichi, please say it with me. Gichi. Gichi means big or great. Ziibi, please say it with me. Ziibi means river, so Great River or the Mississippi River. The new name of the Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts brings us a step closer to acknowledging the indigenous lands, history, and current place of the Ojibwe people of the Brainerd Lakes region. When we gather in this beautiful space, let us remember the Ojibwe people who stewarded the land and water here for generations, and even today, as this is who we are as indigenous peoples. This is an important step in the Brainerd School District's history, where war bonnets, war whoops, and other mischaracterizations of our people has taken place for years. Now, we are providing an opportunity for our children and our children's children to see themselves reflected in our school, and for the larger community to recognize the Anishinaabe of this area, learning a bit more about our history and the value of the water of the Gichi Ziibi. This naming calls us to commit to continuing to learn more about each other and to build an inclusive Brainerd Lakes area. Miigwech.
At this time, I'd like to call to the stage the 2021 members of the Board of Education: Charles Blacklance, Kevin Boyles, Thomas Hagelin, Ruth Nelson, Robert Nystrom, and Jana Sjogren. Also, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Heidi Hahn and Brainerd High School Principal Andrea Rusk.
Sorry about that. Our Board of Education, in collaboration with teachers, administration, local arts community, and organizations, had a vision to build something world-class for our students and community in which to enhance academic achievement and artistic opportunities throughout our region.
After countless hours of meetings with architects, engineers, administrative staff, the project oversight members, and other experts, along with tours of similar spaces, a unified vision of the space emerged. We present for dedication this evening the Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts. Over the past 2 years, we have watched as this magnificent building rose up out of what was once a parking lot. This evening, we officially dedicate the space to the artists of today and tomorrow. Now we will do the ribbon cutting and dedication of the Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts. Mr. Hagelin. Oh, you're gonna go over there?
Before Director Hagelin speaks, I would invite you all to stay after our program concludes today to take a tour of our space here at the Center for the Arts. We are doing an informal tour today. You can meet at various locations here, and I'll point them out right now. And so after we conclude the ceremony, please feel free to go to any of the locations, and there will be signs on the wall directing you to follow a pattern of traffic. And we have the tours spots in the lobby, in the stage studio. Some of you know it as the Black Box Theater. The stage studio is to the northwest of the lobby. We also have a spot for you to see our dressing rooms and also our technical area. And then to the west, if you keep proceeding down the hallway here to the north end of the center, you can go down the hallway to our music commons and our music wing, where our students practice each day. And then you can also come up here to the stage. And we have representatives from our music department, our theater department, and our school board members who will be hosting you at the various locations. So again, after the program concludes, you can just look for one of us at our locations: lobby, stage studio, dressing room area in the hallway, music commons, or on the stage to learn more and hear more and ask questions about this beautiful space. So I encourage you to join us if you're able to. Thank you.
So as Andrea said, after we're all done tonight, just see us out there and we'll help you get on one of the tours if you're interested. Good evening. Good news is I am the last speaker of the night, so we're just about ready to close. My name is Tom Hagelin, one of your school board members, and also facility chair of our long-range planning. So it's been a pleasure and honor to be a part of this historic time and this work. Before I make a few more closing comments, I just want to make a personal recognition. Kim Ellenson had mentioned about a long-range planning and visionary that there are about 25, 30 of us were involved with way before the referendum even became to light. And I want to thank Mr. Bob Gross, who is here tonight, who challenged and pushed us early on as a visionary to reach beyond what we normally would do and step out of our own ways. So thank you, Mr. Gross, for helping us back then. So again, as a board member and chair of our facilities long-term planning, on behalf of the entire Board of Education, our Superintendent Lane Larson, and the entire Brainerd Warrior team, I leave you tonight with a great appreciation for each of you in your role in the success of Blueprint 181. This has been a long endeavor and a milestone for many of us to finally reach. As you can tell from our speakers tonight, and certainly from our student performers, that this has been an exciting and extensive process, a very historic milestone for us. As we dedicate the Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts this evening, you should know that ISD 181 is about approximately 60 to 70% with all of our work, with a lot of work yet to come in our total Blueprint 181 plan. This summer, and again next summer, we will be eagerly anticipating what we call Summer Slam sessions. The amount of work that'll happen between now and the start of the school year is absolutely incredible with the team that we have put together for these construction projects. We'll be investing millions of dollars that'll go to work this summer during these during this Summer Slam session that really has a huge, profound impact on our economic and the development of our school and our community. Construction will continue all of this year and into next year, and with any luck at all, we will complete the final phases of our 13 building projects by the fall or sometime late 2022. You know, as I look around in the audience tonight, and I think about how this building in particular, this center that we are currently in right now, for years and years to come, how this will really bring our school district and our community together, as well as regional visitors that will be attending and want to be a part of this historic building and this historic opportunity that we have in our community. So it's really invigorating to think about what we've created and what you have all been a part of to helping make this be successful. The Gichi Ziibi Center for the Arts will rapidly, most likely, become one of the most desired performance locations, I think, in the state of Minnesota and beyond. Not many places will have a facility like we have here in our own community. You know, as a local business owner, the Blueprint 181, to me, brings great confidence in the stability, the growth, and the progress of our school district, our community, our workforce development, and our economic vitality. This community that we get to live in, we get to play and work in, have fun, and has been a destination for many for years and years, and now, more than ever, will be a destination for so many more. I can assure you that the arts are very much alive in our community, and we thank all of you for your unwavering partnership. I heard early this week a lesson, Warren Buffett, the price is what you pay, value is what you get. And I can assure each and every one of you that the value that we receive for the investment that this community has made is absolutely incredible for what we ended up with. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful Memorial Weekend. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of this historic night in our community. Again, thank you, and be safe.